So basically, Mark, why don't we start off with yourself? Just let us know what kind of you feel about the situation, how you're getting on, what you've done with yourself, with your clients, things like that. Let's crack on.
So situation my end, really, nothing changes. So the only thing that changes is a lot of my clients have no access to the gym. So the adherence still stays the same. Obviously, a couple have been unfortunate to lose the job, so I'm still supporting them throughout that. But luckily enough, 90% of my clients are still staying on board as is, and nothing changes. We're still working towards those goals, and we're still doing the daily do. So we're still keeping on top of the daily routine. We're supporting one another. I made a group for all my clients as well on WhatsApp, in which everyone can kind of chip in and work together as a team. So that's helping quite a lot, I think, as well. And every single day, I'm going to try and give some content out to my guys and try and stay on top of them and be positive and show them the way almost. Because I know a lot of people are getting a little bit down about it and getting almost depressed about the situation. But at the end of the day, it's just temporary. And looking at the bigger picture, the only thing that's different is your gym's closed. Like, it's not the end of the world. And there's worse things out there. Like, it could be, the worst things could be is your relative could be sick. So I think, what would you rather be, your gym closed or one of your close relatives being in intensive care? What would you rather have? I know what I would rather have. And obviously myself, I own a gym, but I'm still not going to go in the gym and train in the gym for at least a couple of weeks. I'm not going to rub it in people's faces. I'm going to try and stay away as such and just try and support everyone and get through it together. I'm actually got a decent setup at a friend's house. So hopefully I'll try and get a YouTube video on Thursday. Obviously with some home training and show you guys ropes on that.
Kuba's home training workouts.
You know it. Yeah, I won't be selling those though like Kai Green did. Do you realise Kai Green actually put a post up and I mugged him off on it a little bit, and I think quite a lot of people jumped in on it, giving some serious abuse for trying to sell home workouts.
It's trying to profiteer off the situation. I think that's not on really. I think at the end of the day, we're all going to be providing, as coaches, PTs, gymmers, things like that, we're going to be trying to be providing as much content and good information as we can for our clients. And why not extend that to the outside audience as well? Because at the end of the day, all we're doing is giving good information out that we've already written anyway. So we don't need to profiteer off that. It's not good business, not good practice, and it's not going to stand you in good stead for the future. And I think with what you just said as well about obviously people's relatives being ill, with regards to us, shows being cancelled, the gym being shut, I think that is terrible for our fitness industry. However, there are much, much bigger problems at stake. People are dying, people are losing jobs, people are losing income. So those problems are obviously much more serious scale than us not training. So at the end of the day, I've seen a couple of guys like proper moaning on Instagram that they can't train and stuff. Like, yeah, it is shit, but at the end of the day, you still got electricity, you still got running water, you still got access to food. And I know that sounds a little bit deep and a little bit OTT at times, but it's true, isn't it? We still got each other, we still got our loved ones, and at the end of the day, we can remain happy and we can still get through this process. I mean, I've been asked a lot of times, how can I continue with my goals? So let's talk about that a little bit, about like adhering to our plans, working towards goals. If someone's obviously in, like, say, for example, a bulking phase, potentially like the goals may have to change, or the way in which they go about things may have to change. What's your viewpoint on that?
So I think your goals may change as to what you're doing long term, but your short term goals should always be the same. So, like I said, your consistency should continue, and your daily routine should continue. Nutrition should still continue as is. So, for example, if you're bulking, I would drop your calories down to maintenance, just because you're probably not going to have the same stimulus as you want at gym. So, and if you are cutting and you're slightly overweight, I'm talking about general public here, I would carry on cutting. However, for bodybuilders, if you are doing a prep or a cut right now and you're unable to train at a gym, I would favour bringing your calories up back to maintenance and holding there, because the likelihood of no stimulus there for at the gym, the likelihood is you will lose muscle, not just body fat. And end of the day, as bodybuilding, it's not a diet contest. So it's all about muscle preservation as you're trying to come down. So without proper stimulus, it's impossible to do that. So most of my guys, I've been pretty honest with everyone. Luckily enough, probably 60 to 70% of my guys have access to more than bands. They've got access to pretty much a semi-good setup. So we can still kind of keep some progression going. But a lot of my guys are also unfortunate to just have bands or even have nothing. So in that phase, we'll stay positive, we'll still exercise, we'll still do what we can, we'll still stay on daily routine, we'll still get us cardio and steps in, which will also help with recovery. And if your nutrition is on point and you're eating the right amount of food and you stay accountable, you're not going to lose any muscle tissue during 2-3 weeks. All that's going to happen, you're going to get a little bit flatter, and then as soon as you get back in the gym, you regain the fullness within a week, if that. So all you've got to look at this is it. That's it.
Going to be there straight away.
100%.
What we want to do in this situation, we're looking at preservation, not growth. Like, I think from both a fitness and a business perspective, because obviously I know a lot of you guys on here now came on for kind of business side of things as well. Like, as online coaches and as PTs and gym owners, things like that, this isn't a period for growth. And if you're looking for growth, you're just going to end up depressed and anxious because it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
What we need to do is retain our clients, and this is one of those periods where we really need to up our service, make sure our service is fully on point, because everybody needs us as clients. They need us as leaders, as their role models for, the people that we're coaching in this time. So, obviously Kuba for his clients, me for my clients, and for all the other coaches out there, this is a time for us to step up, provide the content that they need, provide the support that they need, and really show them that we actually give a shit. Like, this isn't just a job where we make money. This is a job that we're actually passionate about. We fell into these jobs because of our passion for bodybuilding in the first place and our passion for helping other people. So if we move on to talk about, well, we've covered a few things with regards to mindset and training. And like you said, I actually phoned all of my clients just to make sure everyone's okay. And most of them, like your clients, 60-70% had already said to me, I've already bought X, Y, Z. Some people have bought full fucking squat racks and everything. I'm like, shit, man, that's impressive.
It's serious, man.
700-800 quid. So it just shows that the client's actual want and need to progress is still there as well, which is cool to see, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely. But end of the day, we've all got to be realistic at this point as well. Your coach isn't just a coach for bodybuilding. Like, the way I look at it, I try and look after all my clients' needs. So it's not just bodybuilding; it's more your structure, your daily routine. And I'm not I wouldn't say any coach is a mental health expert, which it's bullshit. We're not. But the support we can give mentally and physically is massive. So I like to think I'm quite good at supporting my clients mentally as well, just to try and obviously lead by example and be positive during this time and stay as productive as we can.
That's so true.
I think for coaching, you've got to be more almost like a leader. So you've got to inspire people. You've got to push them on. And it's actually a conversation I had with one of my clients earlier doing his check-in, and he felt real down and depressed about it. And I was like, mate, it's just another challenge. It's just something. It's just another thing you're going to overcome, and it's just another hurdle in the process. So you shouldn't look at it as a negative. You should always look at things as a positive. So it's just another thing to get through. And on the other side of it, you can either break you, it's going to make you. So it's either going to make you a better person, a smarter person, a better bodybuilder, or it's going to make you fat, lazy, and you're going to turn to a slob. So it's up to you which path you want to choose. But I know that each and every person on my team, they want to better themselves. They want to use this time as an opportunity to get better, either get better as a coach, or as a person, or as an athlete, whatever the goals are. I know they're all working towards self-improvement. And I think this time and any time, in fact, even when the gym's open, you can still utilize that time more and use it to your advantage and get better as an athlete and try and work on some resilience mentally and definitely appreciate what we have when the gym is open.
That's true, man. Mate, we've lost you on the line for a sec. Do you want to request to come back in? Go back on there.
That's true, man. Mate,
just leave that and just request to come back in again.
Yeah, I've requested it.
Oh, here we go. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Just connecting. Give us a sec.
There we go. We're back. I think they missed the last minute of what you just said. So I I could see you speaking away. That was a good thing. That was a good thing as well. That was Kuba from the heart. He literally crying out of his heart there.
What was I saying?
You were saying, right, I forgot to mute my off, so I didn't actually hear it. Sometimes you speak Polish. Yes, he's the Polish king.
What's to do? Right, hit me. What was I talking about? What was I talking about?
We were talking about.
Where did you lose me? What bit did you lose me on?
Lost you. Hello, bro. You're basically talking about. You were talking about your client who was feeling depressed and he was feeling down, and how you dealt with it and dealt with his mindset and the way he was sort of feeling and things like that.
Right. So basically, after the conversation I had with him was, you shouldn't look at this as a negative. You should look at it as a positive. So everything in life happens for a reason. I think if we can either take this as a negative, or we can use this to obviously use it as a time of self-improvement and see what we can do during this time to better ourselves as athletes and bodybuilders and whoever we are as people. We can always use this time to become better. And I think on the other side of this, when we come out of it, I think we are going to appreciate our coaches and our gyms a lot more than we did before. So I think, again, he got in a negative state of mind where he worked with me for over a year towards his goal, and he's finally seen like he's really making massive progress recently. And now he's saying it's been taken away from him. It's not true. Like, nothing's been taken away from it. It's just the way you're looking at it. He's looking at it from a negative perspective where he can use this time. He can use this time to become a better person. He can still use this time to train. And I think you don't just train your body, you've got to train your mind. So he can use this time to obviously get smarter, educate himself on whatever subject he wants. It doesn't have to be bodybuilding, by the way. It could be anything that he's interested in, any passion he has. He could use this time to obviously lock in on that passion and obviously get a little bit more organised and get in with that. But that's just my point of view. I'm going to keep going as I am. And I definitely know this time can make us stronger as people and mentally more resilient to situations like this.
Yeah, man, I fully agree with you on that. And I think I've actually seen a few people almost crumble under the pressure. A few online clients, a few online coaches I've seen people kind of, succumbing to the pressures of everything that's happening, not being able to eat on normal nutrition if people can't get to the shops or get their normal food if they can't obviously train at the gyms. And like Kuba said, you have to look at the positives, because if you're looking at the negatives, you will just end up with anxiety, depression, and with zero productivity. So when you look at the positives, what I thought initially was, okay, the first thing I can do is I can take a step back and really look at my business and think, right, where does it need me the most? Where can I help the most? And initially that's going to be in client retention, client care, client support, all that kind of stuff. Whereas obviously when things are running smoothly, that's always still going on. Obviously your clients, they go off and kind of sort themselves out for a bit, and then they come back for a check-in. And then that's when I can work on the business with things like, adverts and business and all those kinds of stuff. But whereas now, it's not time for that. It's a time where you step into the business really, really deep. And I'm just saying this because I know there's a lot of PTs and coaches and things like that. This is the kind of thing, if you're not already, that you should be doing. Like Kuba said, he's working really deep with clients. And that's what we need to do. We need to be there for them, because at the end of the day, this isn't going to be forever. It's not, well, we don't know how long it's going to be for. It could be 4 weeks, could be 12 weeks, could be 6 months.
The thing is, Joe, it should be an eye-opener to a lot of coaches on how they should be as coaches as well. Because 100%. Right now, they're probably going to be putting a lot more effort in than they have been before. Whereas for me, nothing changes. I'm still keeping on my team as I have been. Because I know, I'm confident in my product now. I know each one of my athletes. I know my first name. I know them. And I know the plans. Like, I know exactly how they feel, and I know them inside out. So the thing is, when you put enough time into something, you're going to know that. And I think now is the time for coaches that maybe know themselves deep down in their heart that they haven't been putting enough effort in. I think now they are going to start putting more effort in, and they're going to see, they're going to value their job a lot more. Whereas I know it will happen. Everyone's going to value the service they get a lot more. And I think the coaches are going to value their jobs far more coming out of the other side of this.
And I think that's not just for coaches who are maybe new and getting into it and trying to learn about customer care. That's also for coaches who are actually been in the industry for a long time and maybe got a little bit complacent or taken on too many clients. And then I think, because you see that a lot, don't you? Successful coaches end up with 150, 200 clients. Let's be fair, you cannot offer a good one-to-one service with care, understanding everybody's personality, feelings, thoughts, process, and all that stuff with that many clients.
I think 100. If you take it as a full-time job, I think 100 is about your limit.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think you can manage 100 if you take it as your full-time job, like as I have been. Like for me, it's a thing where I do day and night, and it's probably my own fault for spoiling people as such. But everyone knows that if I need to ring up any time, or if they need to get in contact with me urgently, they will get a ring back, and I don't leave people hanging for days for an answer. Maximum you'll wait is probably 20 hours for an answer, and if it's a check-in day, it's probably quicker. So you're never going to wait any longer than that for me to speak to you. And everyone knows that if they need a conversation, they're always going to get conversation. I think a lot of people have been. I think a lot of coaches are taking that for granted and not really giving enough back.
Yeah, 100%. And it's almost like you go the extra mile without being asked to go the extra mile. Like I always like to. I've got work for me and Kuba both have work phones now. We had this conversation a while back. There he is. Just because the personal phone's just getting too much mixed in. Anyway, so I always like to make sure that the messages on this are always emptied before I go to bed at night, and then you know that you've sort of at least dealt with everybody in a timely manner. And obviously that's a good thing, you know, you don't want to be waiting 48 hours for a reply and a 2-word reply at that, and I've seen that very often. That's not ideal. So I want to quickly move on and talk about, because obviously I don't know if there's any gym owners watching, but obviously you yourself, you're a gym owner. How has this affected business from a gym owner's perspective, and what have you done or what can you do moving forward to kind of combat and respond to that?
Sorry, say again, mate. We're breaking up a little bit.
So with regards to obviously owning the gym, how has obviously the coronavirus shutting you guys down? How has that affected business? How has that affected everything that's going on at the gym? And what have you or can you do to kind of combat that moving forward? So this could potentially crush a lot smaller. I know obviously Ultraflex is a massive franchise. It's not going to die. It's going to be totally fine. But smaller businesses could really, really struggle with the situation. What kind of advice would you have for them?
Unfortunately, I think a lot of business there haven't really got much saved, and I think if Ultraflex wasn't such a strong business and it wasn't planned as it has been, and obviously I'm very fortunate to have some fantastic business partners, and the main guys that are behind it are Mike and Charlie. And believe me when I say Charlie, if there's anything Charlie can do, he will when it comes to business. So he's a very smart man. So whenever there's an issue, he will know it inside out. So I did get some advice from Mark Coles as well, which has been very helpful.
Yeah.
And but for now, the plan is to, again, it's the same thing as coaching. Look after your people, and we have issued some statements out, and I know for a fact pretty much 80% of our members are still retaining the membership as is. So I think that's key.
To support the business. And that's what a lot of people have asked you, to support self-employed businesses and people like, you know, online coaches, especially gyms. Gyms run off memberships. So if you just think, oh shit, gym shut, cancel membership, your gym might not be there when you go back to it in 2-3 months. Also, Kuba, breaking news, I've actually just seen on the comments that Boris's announcement 5-10 minutes ago, whatever it was, we are now on full lockdown.
We are?
Yeah. Look at the comments. Where is it? Thunter 992. Boys, you missed the Boris Johnson announcement. We are on lockdown now. Official. Holy shit. Okay. We're on lockdown, boys and girls. Live. So there we go. That was pretty inevitable. We knew that was going to be coming. So I hope you guys are prepared. We've stuff at home. Again, don't think that this is a crazy bad thing, because it's not. Because at the end of the day, we need this to get rid of the fucking virus. And you need to pay respect to the rules that there are. You know, I see too many people going out. Like, I go out for walks outdoors, but I'm not fucking talking to anyone or speaking to anyone or going anywhere near anyone. Obviously, I can't do that now. But, you know, there's people doing sort of social situations and gatherings, and that shit will spread it. So, mate, I can't believe it. I'm lockdown. Fuck.
Lockdown, my G, lockdown.
Oh, shit. Well, I don't really even know what that means. So we'll well, obviously I do, but I don't know how it's going to play out.
Yeah, but listen, you can still go out. You can go out food shopping. You can go pharmacies. You can go and exercise in the park. Like, end of the day, I've got a business, so I will be checking on my business daily, shut down or not shut down. So it's not really that much of an issue. People are panicking. It's like you can't. You can't. They can't physically make you stay in all day. But going back to the topic, I think out of the back of this, a lot of businesses will kind of crash, because what you've got to think is it's almost like a fresh start when this opens back up, and you've almost got to re-promote your business and restart your business. So for now, the plans with our gyms are pretty much take it day by day as it comes, try and put out some decent content for our members, and just keep going as we are, mate. So
100%.
we'll take it as it comes.
Like I said, it's business as usual from our perspective. We need to just keep pushing. And at the end of the day, for all of you PTs, online coaches, gym owners, whatever, anyone that's self-employed in this situation, when we do eventually come out of this situation, trust me, business is going to fucking boom, because everybody's sat in their house eating shit, getting fat, getting out of shape. And who are the first people they're going to need when they come out of this? They're going to need us. They're going to need mental well-being support. They're going to need programs. They're going to need nutrition. They're going to need support, like Kuba just spoke about. They're going to need all that stuff. They're going to have forgotten how it's like to be disciplined into a different plan. So I promise you, I don't know what it's going to be, but when we do come out of this, anyone who's remained in a good position, retained their clients, looked after their business, and like I said, maintained and preserved their business, not looking to grow, you will boom, absolutely 100%. It's all about getting ourselves in a good position to boom when the time is ready. And the time is not now, but when it is ready, it's going to be good business all around. And you need to just prepare yourself, get yourself in a good position, and look after your clients. That's the main thing. Look after what you have now. Make sure they're all serviced after everybody knows what they're doing, and that's how we're going to grow moving into the future. So, do you have anything else you want to touch on with regards to that, Kuba?
I think it all depends on how you've already run your business. If your business has been successful so far, it will get through a hard time. However, if you'll know in deep in your heart, if you haven't been on it with your business, whether that's owning a gym or running your coaching business, you know it's not going to end well during this time. So, but again, if that's the case, you can use this time as an opportunity to obviously learn and get better and become a better person and a better coach. That's what I'm going to do, spending my time obviously bettering myself and making sure I am a better person, a better coach, and all around a better athlete when I come out on the other side of this. So
exactly that, mate. And one thing I would say, guys, is now we have all of this extra time. Don't just binge watch Netflix and fucking watch YouPorn all day. I know Cuba won't be. But listen,
I wish.
In all seriousness, what we're going to do is use this time productively to learn something new. Like we said, work on your business as well as in your business.
James wants to ask us a question.
All right, fire away, Bobby. Oh, James Vassy. Boys, if you got we'll go through this in a minute and we'll answer some questions. We both did Instagram question time earlier. So when we finish kind of chatting shit, we will answer some of your questions. So if you do have any more questions, just ping them in here for us. How long do you think till we come out of this? That's a difficult one to answer, and I'm definitely no coronavirus expert, that's for sure. But as long as it takes, and it doesn't really matter because we will make do for however.
Full lockdown for 2 weeks.
Yeah, as I would say, you're on the news, you?
No, I'm not on the news, mate, but I think that's what it'll be.
Yeah,
I think that's what it'll be.
I think, to be honest, we're going to be in this situation for longer than a lot of people think, because it's a highly infectious virus. It's not even hit us the hardest it's going to hit us yet. And because obviously people have kind of been taking the piss with regards to going out and about. You see those videos of like Asda in the shop, there's like 100 people, more than 100 people in there. It's stupid. But yeah, I don't think we've seen the worst of this shit yet. So I think we could be a good while yet without gyms, leisure centres and social places to go to. So yeah, I don't know exactly how long, but it's going to be longer than you think. The fucking drive will be even crazier. Yeah. Did you see the stuff from McDonald's earlier? It was shutting at 7 o'clock. All the queues and Maccas.
Oh, mate, it was ridiculous. That's what I mean. Like, people are shutting gyms down, yeah. They fail to see where the real danger is. The real danger and the real place where you may get this disease is in a supermarket or anywhere that's hoarded by a lot of people, which is supermarkets and food places. So
100%. I think exactly. Like when we were in the gyms, this isn't me just sticking up for gyms because I'm in the fitness industry, but for example, I work at DW, which is a commercial gym. I'm PT in there, and in there they had people going around every bit of kit every 5 minutes, wiping it down, anti-backing, blah blah blah, and then you're still allowed to rush around as the Tesco, Sainsbury's, and it's just a fucking mess everywhere. You've got people touching everything, and that is just a live wire for sharing the virus, in my opinion. And there's no one going around cleaning in there, I know. But anyway, we'll shut the gyms down, so. And no, obviously, I do realise why the gyms have been shut, and it's for a good cause for however long it needs to be. And we just need to get by. If you've got, there's loads of free information out there with regards to what to do training-wise. I know your boy AJ's put out some stuff on YouTube of how to use bands very effectively. I've put out a few bits and bobs, just almost just home. I did some upper lower split, a full body split, stuff like that. It's obviously not going to be anywhere near what you can do at the gym because the stimulus you're going to get is going to be shit, to be honest, compared to what you're used to. It's just not going to build any muscle, that's for sure. But here we're just looking to maintain and preserve. That's obviously goal number one. So, if you were on a bulk, probably, maybe stop. You're not going to be gaining any muscle on this, or either that or up a test.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
but, on a serious note, I'm not going to admit and say I agree with the decision because collectively, when you look at amount of deaths caused by alcohol, obesity, and smoking per year in England, it's absolutely ridiculous. So the real pandemic is doing what people are doing already, not a virus. But this virus, obviously, it's come about now, and obviously now we've got to go on a shutdown. But that's a story for another day. But let's touch on something else before I get mad.
Mate, I know what you mean. Obviously, use it. Danny Hill's just putting here. Australia have lockdown but kept gyms open.
Actually, no.
For mental well-being.
No. They've actually closed the gyms yesterday.
They are closed now, are they?
Yeah.
Danny, can you confirm?
Yes, I've got a few clients in Australia, so 100%.
I think previously, though, what they did do before now they've gone full lockdown.
Yeah.
It's a good idea because people do need to get out and train for mental well-being. Obviously, they were doing it with restrictions. They're only allowed a certain amount of people in, obviously social distancing. I think it can be managed. If you're allowed to fuck off in a shop with 100 other people and rummage next to them, why should you not be able to be allowed in a managed gym?
I think there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of mental issues coming back out of this.
100%. We are going to become psychologists.
Yeah, or psychopaths.
Danny's just put fake. You're already a psychopath, bro. She's just put fake news and never mind. Oh, it's just that. It's all good. Only kidding. So yeah, obviously there's a lot of shit going on right now. We just wanted to get on here and spread some positive vibes and basically let you know everything's going to be fine.
Spread positivity, not corona.
There we go. Not STIs.
That's you, bro. Not again.
That's no social distancing, I know.
Yeah. Guys, by the way, we're not them type of coaches. If you're going to start with stuff like that, talking of coaches, there's been some poor practice lately, hasn't there?
There has been some poor practice. I'm sure you've all seen it all over the gram of late. So yeah, bad times for certain people, but got to get called out at the end of the day. You knows. So anyway, it's been good to get on here and have a chat with you, brother. Like with me and Kuba, we've kind of been over the past year or so chatting quite frequently about coaching practices, business ideas, just bouncing things off each other, and it's good to have someone of a similar mindset with not just business as well as obviously training, nutrition. Our approach to everything is kind of pretty similar, to be honest. Except I'm not Polish, I'm English. And I ain't got this look, someone actually asked me, who do you think pulls off the skin a little better? I was like, well, I don't even do it properly. So definitely Kuba on that one. Look at the beard as well. Look at it. Look at it. I can't really see because it looks like I'm looking through a fucking sandstorm looking at you on your Instagram TV.
Majestic. Right, do you want to hit the questions?
Yeah, let's get these questions. You did some as well, didn't you?
Yeah, but I won't be able to view them.
Oh, all right. Have you not got your other phone?
I don't have, I've only got WhatsApp for clients on my other phone, nothing else.
I only kept it on there so I can post every now and then. Oh, let me find it. I'll do mine anyway. So let's go back. What's the question box? Right, okay. I'm going to ask you this on live anyway because I asked him off air. That's quite funny. Completely irrelevant. It's quite funny. Ask Kuba if he was a wrestler, who would he be, and what would his walking song be? Tell us, Kuba. We're all dying to know.
Whoa!
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair, bro. Ric Flair. Ric Flair. But I've been bigger than John Cena.
Wow, yeah. John Cena is an absolute slap, isn't he? He is about 6'4" at the end of the day. Well, let's have a look. Okay. Optimal training split over the week for muscle retention. I presume they mean in response to the situation.
Well, it depends what you have available, mate. It's too much of a broad question. If you've just got
scenario.
If you just got what worst case scenario, yeah?
You know, give us a scenario. Give us like a good scenario and then a worst scenario.
So some of the clients only have bands and a barbell, a fixed barbell and a couple of dumbbells. So in that instance, we are doing a full body session every other day.
Yeah, that's what I would say too.
So it's going to be a full body session, 3 to 4 sets to absolute failure. And it's probably 8 exercises and it's 30 seconds rest between sets as well.
Yeah, and that's what, because obviously with our normal style of training, we have longer sets to rest because we've got heavier weights, so we need to recover from it. Whereas when the stimulus is going to be less because the weight's longer, you can recover more quickly between those sets, therefore get away with a lower rest period. And obviously you want to keep the intensity a little bit higher via shortening the rest periods with this type of training. Because if you're doing, 10 kilo side raises and then you're taking a 5-minute rest period, it's going to be a pretty wank session. So, but yeah, I think full body's a great approach for sure. Let's talk about worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, I've got nothing. Jesus. So it would be literally squat, lunge, split squat, and then depending if you can, probably press ups and a dip using 2 chairs.
Handstand shoulder press if you're strong enough.
That's it, if you're strong enough. But I doubt it. 90% of people will be strong enough to do that. But,
what I would do in that situation is write down a list of bodyweight exercises and just do them all as a circuit and just keep going and just do it fucked.
So in that situation, I would probably be looting.
Yeah. Out on the streets of fucking Rotherham, stealing all the fucking stuff in the shops.
No, I'd just be getting the dumbbells, mate. Dumbbells. Anyone's got a dumbbell and barbell. I'd be like, yes.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see what else we got. This is interesting. Do either of us have any body weight or lifts we want to hit before we retire? So probably not body weight because that's pretty fucking boring.
300 pounds, bro.
I know. I'll go back in. Is there anything you want to achieve in the gym from a weight standpoint, or is it all just literally now? Obviously, we're bodybuilders, it's all visual, but we do still love lifting heavy weight. Is there anything that you want to achieve?
7 plate squat, 7 plate deadlift, and 300 pounds on the scales.
300 pounds on the scales is definitely one of mine. I think. Put a time period on that. When do you reckon?
2 years.
Without being a fat cunt.
With 2 years.
2 years. I think 2 years is good. I did 272 this off season, but I couldn't go any more than that.
265 for me. 265.
Yeah, that's fucking big, man. You're what height are you?
5'9".
5'9". Well, Jordan 5'6", isn't he?
5'5".
5'5" at 292.
If not less, I think it's shorter.
It's fucking jokes. It's actually jokes. You know, because I was training in MJ's, which is probably, you've been to MJ's, one of the small, real small, like backyard gym. Sick, got some really good kit in there. And you'd think, go to any gym like that, you'd be like, I'm the big dog in here. And then you got fucking Jordan wandering around. So no matter what I do, I just feel sore this week.
There's like a big rhino in it.
Yeah, literally, it's fucking nuts. So you do anything that's remotely impressive to yourself, you have to come in and just like rep it for like 15 reps. There's an absolute monster, but it's fucking sick to train around, of course. What do you reckon you'll do after you finish bodybuilding?
Definitely. Either boxing or MMA.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine you in an MMA ring, to be fair. Beard and all. Get you in there, you savage fuck. You used to do boxing, didn't you, when you were younger?
Yeah. I boxed for England, actually.
Yeah, that's sick, to be fair. What age did you start and stop?
I started when I was 11 and I stopped when I was 15. So,
fair.
And then
pretty good in a short time period. Well, 4 years is still a pretty good time period, I suppose. Let's have a look. What else we got? How to maintain as much muscle mass as possible with limited equipment. I think we've pretty much covered that, to be honest. Like we said, it's all about maintenance, about preservation, not going to be about growing. It's basically just doing what you can, like Kuba said, just train to failure. It doesn't matter what you have, train to failure, whether that's 5, 10, whether that's 15 or 50 reps. You know, they say you can still get the same stimulus from training to failure between 5 and 50 reps. You know, obviously that is based on research, which isn't necessarily applicable to us as bodybuilders, but it's still research that has been done and improved. So, you know, train to fucking failure, whatever you're doing, train hard until you can't go anymore. That's all we know. And make things harder, like bands is, you can make shit pretty hard with bands, to be fair, if you know how to train and how to set it up. What else have we got? Ways to maintain healthy rotator cuffs and limit the risk of tendonitis.
So visit Dante Trudel on Instagram, and it's a simple exercise which everyone should do, and I do pretty much before every single session. And if you are a member of Train by JP site and you watch any of my sessions, you will see me do it. So you can even do it with a band or a broomstick. Is you hold it out in front and then up, down behind your neck, all the way down to your hips, and then back up and over and forward. So using that pretty much gets your range of motion, improves your range of motion massively in your shoulders, and definitely loosens them off a hell of a lot as well.
And how many like reps and sets would you do of that before step?
I do 2-3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. And then the mobility in your shoulders after that is immaculate. So, and I think any issues in your shoulders are always due to poor mobility. So if your mobility is good in your shoulders, you'll be fine.
So obviously that's not a muscle warm-up exercise. That's actually a joint and a mobility warm-up exercise combined with muscle warm-up exercises as well. And the last question is pretty much how are we both managing? How are you managing? What do you have available? You said your mate's got a bit of kit in his garden, or
yeah, mate's got some equipment in his garden. So obviously I understand it's full lockdown, but that doesn't mean I can't travel. So I will still go there, and I will still use it. So
basically, keep it taking Ultraflex. I'm going to come up visit. I'm coming up to visit you, bro.
Yeah, man.
Visit for a few months.
Yeah, visit for a month.
And we can go and check the gyms all right every day. Just make sure no one's broke in for like 3 hours or so. Just
That's it. We've got to service the equipment.
Service the equipment. Just make sure it's working really well with like 8 plates on. It's all good. It's still working. I've got my mate, my training partner actually, Luke, has got his old man has got a shed out in the back garden. And it's actually pretty big. It's got a proper chest press machine, shoulder press machine, a lat pull down, a leg extension, a rack with a bar with up to 280 kilos of weights. So we're going to be just fine. And I don't know if you know, but I actually started prep today. Day 1 of prep. Yeah. I don't know. Day 1 of prep in this fucking situation. So obviously we spoke to Jordan. I'm supposed to be doing the British finals, which is on the 2nd of August, and the regional qualifier is the week before that on the 25th. So I'm 18 weeks out as of now. We're just going to see how it goes. I need to come down anyway because I've been up for so long and my digestion's got issues, and you need to come down. So we're going to just start prep. And obviously I wouldn't start prep if I didn't have what I thought was enough weight and resistance to accommodate a prep. Like Kuba said, if you're going to be going into a diet phase and you don't have the resistance you need, you will descend the muscle that you build in off season, and it will go quick as well. It won't go anywhere near as slowly as what you can fucking build it. I'll tell you that for sure. So that's not ideal. Someone said on here, just started them again recently, you guys suffered bad from lower bicep tendonitis. I personally get it terribly just through here on both arms, and it's a difficult one to deal with, but you get regular treatment, don't you, Kuba?
Yeah, your bicep tendinitis, it'll be caused by poor execution in your pulling movements. So whatever you do in your pulling movements, what you're doing is you're not actually using your lats or your back, you're using your biceps. So obviously your bicep is trying to take a massive load that it can't handle. So that is where the tendinitis will come from. It's misuse of that muscle. And it's same with your elbow and the tricep. It's always misuse of the joint. So something you are doing, you're not doing correctly, and I would definitely assess your form.
Mm-hmm. Since I've basically stopped doing, obviously stopped doing any kind of bent over
spinal, bro. Spinal.
My back is broken. As soon as I announced it, I broke my back. This cunt sends me that video. Spinal. Not even like, I hope you're cool, bro. He did afterwards, so I let him off. But yeah, so obviously since stopping anything like that, since doing everything nice and controlled, I don't really have that issue as much anymore. The only times I might actually get is just doing a normal bicep curl, but then obviously just looking how you want to make sure you want probably not long enough enough for a bicep exercise in that situation. Yeah, also looking at things like treatment, obviously chiro treatment as well, and soft tissue work is absolutely imperative.
Let me just address one of them. Lower bicep strain can be from your shoulders rolling forward. Yes, it can, bud, but it wouldn't feel like tendonitis. It would feel like almost shooting pain up your bicep that leads into your actual tendon here, and it leads into your shoulder, your front delt, and your pec. So again, that's not tendonitis, bud. That's just your actual bicep being tight, and you would feel that in your shoulder. So I think that's a bit of a wrong idea, Matt.
There's a difference between tendonitis and having tight muscles. It can be cross-wired a lot of time, but to just being actually a little bit immobile, a little bit tight, and you might just need to get some release through the biceps, through the anterior down and the back.
If you're struggling for a good physio and struggling for a good solution for bicep tendonitis, you need to look up Eugene Teo on Instagram. Yeah,
his class.
And he's got some actual movements you can do to fix it. So you're not going to need to spend any money on a physio or a sports rehab that doesn't know what he's actually doing. All you can do is do a couple of movements that he's showing, and it will completely disappear.
100%. Someone said, Paddy said, "Are you underwater, Cuba? Can you wipe your camera or something?"
No, mate. I've already said it. I've already said it earlier. It's cracked. My screen's cracked.
Oh, you've got the iPhone 2, right?
No, iPhone 1. No, my front camera's cracked.
One speciality. How do you do that?
My front camera's cracked. So.
Right. Fair. Right, guys. When I'm pinging any more questions that you've got, we'll do a few more questions for you. How many pounds of pure muscle can you gain per year naturally? What's an accurate amount?
So it depends. Probably when you start, you can probably gain quite a lot. And then as when you get advanced, you'll be looking to gain £1 or £2 a year.
100%. You can, in the early stages, you can probably gain like between 15 and 30 pounds, I would say, in year one. And then obviously it's going to teeter off and slow down as you get further towards your natural potential. And then that's when most people, they get to their natural potential, and that's when most people tend to sort of jump on and start to use gear. But usually that happens a little bit too early. I think I probably started a bit too early.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, Kuba started when he was 12 and he was boxing in the ring.
No!
Around the back of the bike shed popping D-bolts.
Oh, no. Should I stay and cycle through this? I would advise to drop down to a cruise right now. Yeah. opinion of full body training for novice lifter. I think full body workouts are great, but I would favour an upper lower split if you are a novice.
Yeah, if you have the kit and the means to do so. Obviously, if you have fuck all, then you've kind of got to just do full body. But if you have the kit, then I would suggest splitting into an upper lower. That's kind of the way I work program for my clients in my sort of group. But give them the option. So I did give an option for a bodyweight workout. I gave an option for an equipment-based upper lower and full body, utilizing things like giant sets and stuff, because you're not going to be doing a top set and a back off in this situation unless you've got a full-on squat rack and plates and shit. Most of you don't. So yeah, things like you taking the rest down to sort of 30 seconds and just identifying the sets as best you can. Obviously, form is always key, but if anything now is more key than ever because you're going to be able to work more time under tension. You know, if you've only got a set of 10s and you're doing bicep curls, that's obviously not going to be heavy enough. So you're going to have to be doing 5, 6, 7 second eccentrics on the way down to increase that intensity throughout the lift. What else we got? Every day like a rest day meal plan. Well, depends on how you can train.
No, if you can still get some training, I would, like I said, I told my clients, I would manipulate as I go along. So if my clients drop weight, I will add food accordingly. So it's not just going to be a diet, a rest day diet. And then what's your take on diet while on quarantine? Diet or surplus? Maintenance. I mentioned that before. Definitely maintenance. You don't want to be kind of gaining or dropping. Well, again, it depends. For an athlete, if you've got no access to a gym, for an athlete, stay in maintenance and ride this period out. If you are overweight in your general population, I would favour still trying to drop some weight, still staying in a deficit. And then if you have access to a gym and your schedule doesn't remain, if that is your goal, stay in a surplus.
Yeah, I agree with that. Obviously, like we said, building muscle now is no, don't look at that as your goal. However, if you're in a deficit now and you're already, looking to burn fat, I would continue to do so because you do have the means to do that. All you need to do is be in a deficit, really. Get your knee up, make sure, what I said to a lot of my clients is, already, is to make sure you're tracking steps, make sure you're tracking the output on top of course, the training that you do. And when you train, think about how long you train when you're in the gym, for example. So if you train in the gym, you probably train for 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever that is. Try and replicate that as best you can. I'm not saying do banded workouts for 2.5 hours, but think about the intensity that you train at and the intensity that you can train at whilst you're training at home, and your diet should replicate that. But you will have to monitor, adapt as you go, because you can't just give a plan and be like, there you go, there's your quarantine plan. It's like anything, we coach as we see. We coach what we see and we react to what we see. And that's kind of how I think it should be done, really. Pretty much exactly what Kuba said. What else we got? Guys, got any more questions? Fire them in. Full body training, if a novice lifter, we covered that one. I'm going to scroll back up. I saw there's quite a few back up here. Let's have a look. Would you consider this time during lockdown to have a deload? I think, like Meg said on her video the other day, forced rest is not a bad thing at all, especially for a lot of more potentially advanced bodybuilders or people who are legit strong, who we put a lot of fucking force through our joints, through our tendons, obviously through our muscles. And I think having some form of load deload or intensity deload is not a bad thing whatsoever, as long as you can maintain what you have, and you look after yourself. And then when we get back to training in 2 months, whatever it is, you're going to be fucking boom, ready to go. Everything's going to be fine on all cylinders. Obviously, I wouldn't go in at 1,000%. You're not going to be quite at that point. You're not going to be hitting the top sets you were hitting before. But yeah, obviously, recovery dependent. You get back in there, you're probably going to feel a lot better. What's your view on that?
Yeah, I'm actually in a deload first as well, and quite a lot of my clients, I did tell them to, depending on the situations, quite a few I did tell them to rest over the weekend, and then we assess the situation today. So I've actually still got quite a few of my check-ins to go through. So let's wrap up on this and let's crack on with some work.
That's it, bro. I've got a few to do myself. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully you guys can take something away from that.
What sort of split would you suggest? We've got a barbell and plates. Again, we've covered this already. upper lower split or full body workouts every other day.
There we go. Covered, nailed. Guys, that is our COVID-19 response from me and Kuba. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it easy. Peace out, motherfuckers. See you in a bit.